Hey everybody, it's your boy PB back with another video. Now my hair's a little messed up. As you can see, I haven't had a haircut in a while. But anyways, moving on. Today we're going to be talking about the manhwa. Even if I fall into a ghost story, I still have to go to work. This is an interesting one. It's a unique one, and honestly, I'm here for it. Quick synopsis is our main character. He basically lives this like mundane, work life. He's working his 9 to 5. His life's so boring and I don't have the right tab open. Let's go back a little bit. Um, so, our main character, it starts off with like the story being like, how are you completely obsessed with something? Well, our main character, he's like dopamine, like deprived and whatnot. So he gets hooked on these like ghost stories that people create over the internet, kind of like an open source story type of thing where like anybody can add lore to the story and the plot and whatnot, right? So our main character, he gets addicted to that. And so the reason why this is important is because fast forward to the first actual chapter, because there's a preview chapter, there's a like a pre-release chapter, and essentially the reason why knowing he's addicted to these ghost stories is important is because when he gets this like job at this like company called Daydream Co. It's basically referred to as like a magical like drug type of company, where basically a magic company, right? Like that creates miracle drugs, because if you have an issue, they have like the medicine and stuff that can cure it, right? And so he basically one day he finds himself in this like new employee orientation for the field exploration team of this Daydream pharmaceutical company. And people are like, we've never heard of this, because it's not really a known thing. However, it is basically a department of this pharmaceutical company that forces you to go through like a death survival game to like filter out like the type of people they want working for their company, which is like insane to think about. But the reason, as I said, that why these ghost stories are, or knowing our main characters that was like addicted to these ghost stories, is because uh, the first like uh hurdle they have to go through in their hiring process is he gets entered into a ghost story along with all the other people that were here for this orientation. And he has a flashback of like there was the ghost stories that he was reading, like he finds himself in one of those stories, right? And this is just like a flashback to that, and then it comes back to the main thing where he's like, you know, they plan to use ghost stories to filter out new recruits. And so it comes to the decision where basically the people are on this train, and the doors open and some people are like, well, we should get off this train. Our main character says, basically don't get off the train. People do anyways. And what happens when you choose the wrong answer in these like scenarios, in like the ghost stories you're in, you're basically, it's like you have to choose one answer. You're given choices and you have to choose the right one, and if you choose the wrong one, essentially, you know the whole world just starts to like disappear, because it's all like a fantasy horror type thing, right? So it's like these ghost stories, you're inside of them, you make the wrong decision, you're dead. Like that's pretty much how it goes, right? Like you're forced, this is the fate you get if you choose the wrong answer, is you die. And so the story starts out with his orientation beginning, the first few recruits dying, um, he obviously succeeding. But it's a really cool concept to think that ghost stories, and like he still has to work, right? Like it's this whole new higher orientation, yet it's a ghost story, and they use these ghost stories as their like hiring filtering processes. So our main character, it will probably have an advantage. I mean, he's addicted to these ghost stories and like he's obsessed with them, and he knows like basically a lot about them. So I would assume he could use his knowledge to navigate these ghost stories, and uh basically get have a successful hiring process. But I just think it's really interesting, and like the art looks really good. I mean, just like if we scroll back up, like the world falling apart, changing, transforming, and like the coloring and everything. Like it looks really good. And I really do have like some high hopes for this comic because not only is it unique, but it's actually really interesting, and I think it would be something that has a lot of potential, and I am very well looking forward to how it goes in the future. But yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. It's newer, so it only has like 20 or so chapters right now, but you know let it marinate for a while. But I haven't seen anything quite like it, so it's a supernatural ghost horror, and there's even like a warning, um, at like one of like the pre chapters, basically saying that like please read the precautions below before accessing the sites and stuff. Like it's you know age of 15 prohibited for those under. Like this is going to be a at least I hope, because that's what it seems to be alluding to, like a horror, um gory type of comic, and I'm here for it. I really am here for a psychological horror comic. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. If you guys liked, leave a like, leave a sub. I hope to see you guys more in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.